How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be showing you some trash. I'm not going to lie. But I'm excited to share it with all of you because it is one of the funniest and most entertainingly terrible songs I've ever heard. And I genuinely believe it to be the worst video game song of all time. And the best part is, it comes from one of the most beloved franchises in video game music history, which is Persona. There's truly nothing I can say to prepare you from what I'm about to play. But anyways, let's just get into the song. So this is it. This Shadow World DD Dida. I don't really know how it's supposed to be pronounced. DD, I'm gonna just assume it's that. DD Mouse remix off of the Persona 4 Dancing All Night official OST. Yeah, this is not a fan-made song. This is off the official soundtrack, even though it's like a spin-off game, but it's still official. So before I play this, I'm just for some context to anyone who doesn't know the original song, I'm just going to briefly play a few little snippets from it. So this is the original. This is from Persona 4 Golden, which released in, I think it's, 2012. And yeah, this is, I'd be lying if I said it's one of my favorite Persona openings, but you'll see, it's a pretty good song. So yeah, it starts off with this little, I don't know even what instrument, I guess like a flute section, which is pretty good. And yeah, you see it's got a good bass line. I like the vocals. It's got like a nice fun groove to it. You know, just good song, right? Like it sounds like an opening. It's, it embodies the, fun sort of playful feel of Persona 4. So yeah, you can see the instrumentation is, it's very bare bones, but it sounds great. Like the vocals are really well done. Let's get a little bit further into the song. Yeah, so this pre-chorus is really good. I like those distorted vocals. Yeah, the drop is pretty good too. A little catchy, opening, What could possibly go wrong? I mean, right? What happens when you try and remix a bare bones and simple song like Shadow World? Well, you get this. So this artist, DD Mouse 2, I want to highlight, they have 92,000 monthly listeners, which, it's not like mainstream or anything, but those are, decent numbers. So this guy is well known. And I'm going to read you a little bit of the blurb from his website, his about statement. So it says, DD Mouse is a distinguished by his own one-of-a-kind music style and dynamic live DJ sets, with keyboard performances, which I like, that's cool, mixing tribal music from Tibet, Indonesia, and children's voices with a touch of his soul. So that sounds pretty cool. DD Mouse chips them with single sounds and edits them to create significant melodies. Sounds good, right? I mean, he's got lots of experience, bunch of songs under his belt, so how could this possibly go wrong? So yeah, let's just play the Shadow World DD Mouse remix. Okay, so already you can hear, the vibe of the song is completely different, but that's to be expected because it is a dancing remix. So the tempo's got to go up, we got to make it danceable. And I feel like this beginning instrumental, it's nothing, too remarkable. I mean, it just, it sounds like a good swing melody, which, it's a good start. I like the keyboard part. Okay. So, okay, we're 15 seconds into the song, and already I feel like the first time I heard this, I was like, just like some red flags were going off in my head, because already it sounds a little bit like unsettling. I think it's just the way that like the vocals are just like they feel too quiet in the mix, but also it's just like the tempo is all over the place. I mean, it's not too bad. It's a little odd. Okay, so it picks up a little bit. Okay, but still, to me at least, this sounds all over the place. Okay, but it's not anything, that would constitute it being the worst video game song of all time. So let's just see where it goes. We forgot to turn the metronome off from when we were recording the vocals, I guess. I don't know what this beat is supposed to be. It does not work at all with the vibe of this song, like the swinginess or the vocals. And again, like the original, it does not embody any of the fun energy. At this point, it just sounds confusing more than anything. Yeah, the beat just sounds so awful. Okay. Oh. It's also very, I don't know if it's just me, but it sounds very off key as well. It's anxiety inducing, this beat. There's just so much going on. I feel like it's like this song in a parallel universe, and it's just literally, it's like distorted, like the song. Yeah, there's so much going on. There's a piano, you know, you got the metronome, you got just the background bass. I think that's like kind of left in a little bit. And then you got like the swing instruments too. It's just like there's so much going on. What? What there's like one of those like swingy toys, like, you know, the shakers, I guess, that like kids play with. I don't know what those are called, but you know, the things that like you'll like spin on a wooden stick or something. So that also just got thrown into the beat for this, and it just, again, it just, to me, this does not make any sense at all. We got this little we got this little rhythmic section here, but it's completely ruined by just whatever instrument is making, you know, like whatever that instrument is. Okay. I like this little part. Oh, but why does it go so high? Okay, so the other verse, I believe, is pretty much the same as the first one, so I'm just gonna skip it. But yeah, that I actually forgot that last part, like the post-chorus, kind of happened there with like it just goes really high pitched for like no reason. So let's skip along a little bit. Oh my god. I mean, it's like this song just does not give you a break. Like we go from whatever this was, like back into the metronome. And like even when it's like listenable, it's still just like, it just sounds so odd. It sounds like you got someone to go into like GarageBand or some just like editing software with a bunch of like stocks, like sound effects and stuff, and you just ask them to put together a song in like 5 minutes. You know, someone that's never made music ever, and it sounds like this is something that they'd make. Also, that person would have to be probably impaired too, beyond their rational judgment. You know, this is just a combination of sounds that was never asked for. No one probably even cared for this song to be remixed. I feel like, you know, there's a handful of other tracks from Persona 4 that would do better with a remix than this. You know, like the battle themes or even Your Affection, I feel like would do better than, you know, a song that's just meant to be bare bones and simple. Or at least it could have been like a minimalistic remix. But, you know, I like how the song tastes, I like how it takes risks at least, but this just does not work. And this synth too is just so like odd. In these key changes, it's just like I could go on about just stylistic choices that just do not work like at all with this song. And also, I've made a mention of the mix before, but like the vocals are so quiet in the mix. Whatever these like accent instruments, you know, like the metronome and whatever, just like so loud in the mix, and it's so like in your face, and it's anxiety inducing, like I was saying before. Yeah, I like the beat's different the second time around, but the metronome's back. It is not letting up. It's kind of groovy. Oh. Oh, we're coming back? That was awkward. Oh my god, now we're back into this. Oh, these key changes, man. Holy. I think it just fades out. Why is there still 15 seconds left in the song? Okay, it's just a really slow fade out. Okay, so that was 4 minutes of some of the worst instrumentation and remixing I've ever heard in my life. You know, there's quite a lot of bad video game music, but I feel like this is just in like a tier of its own of just how much it's not needed, how much it's just like offensively terrible. I mean, this is like, and it's from an artist that is used to making remixes like this, which is crazy. I gotta see the comments too. No auto tune, no shenanigans, just straight ass. I think that about sums up how I feel about this song. I never heard a song that actively fights against the beat. Yeah, these are really good. I think that's about it. I don't want this video to get too long, but yeah, this I implore anyone to try and find a worse video game song than this. At least an officially released one, you know, not one that's like super niche, you know, from like some indie game that a 12-year-old made or something. So yeah, anyways, yep. That is Shadow World's remix